What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a video, and in today's video I'm going to answer a question that I get asked all the time, and that question is, how much does it cost to start your own dropshipping store online? So in this video, guys, I'm going to go through the cost of starting a store, and I'm also going to show you 3 ways that you can get started with dropshipping and how much each of those methods cost, so you can get a better idea of how much it's going to cost for you to actually start your own dropshipping business and see if it's actually worth it for you, or if you even have enough money to get into this market and industry to start your own store. Now, before we jump into this video today, guys, I want you to comment below how much money you have to start online. How much do you have right now to start your own business? It can be 0, it can be 100, it can be 1,000, and I'll reply with some advice on what type of business you can start. And also, I reply to all comments within the first 24 hours. So if you have any questions, guys, let me know below. Subscribe, tap that notification bell, and drop a like so you know when my next video comes out. So guys, what is the real cost of dropshipping? I'm going to explain this correctly to help you understand this more from a business point of view. That's the most important thing here. And by the end of this, you'll understand why this is actually an incredible business model and why a lot of people are actually doing this business model and making money in the drop shipping industry. So what is the real cost? How much do you need to spend, and should you actually start doing this? So first of all, guys, we need to cover the basic cost of running a store. This is the first thing that you're going to come in, that you're going to have to do when you start. Now, one thing that I see a lot of people do, and it's a big mistake, is they say, hey, I'm going to come into this, I'm going to get the free 14-day Shopify trial. If I don't make any money in that 14 days, I'm going to quit. Well, reality is you're probably not going to make any money in that first 14 days. So you have to not be so tight and expect to spend money on this business model. You have to spend money on whatever you do. It doesn't really matter what type of business you're into. You are going to spend some type of money at some point in your journey. So the first cost, guys, is going to be your store. And we're going to skip the 14-day trial, and we're going to, our lowest plan is $29 per month, which is extremely cheap to have an online store. The next cost, guys, is going to be a domain name. I recommend you get a domain name. This is highly important because it makes you look more professional. That's going to run you around about $14 per year. You can find them cheaper, but I recommend getting it through Shopify because it's just easier to handle via their system. And then a cost of a logo. You're going to have to get a logo, guys. I'm going to leave an article that I wrote to a bunch of free logo softwares that you can actually use for free and create a logo. But I do recommend you spend a little bit of money on a logo, so you can go on Fiverr, you spend up to around about $20 for a logo. Now, this, guys, is really all you need to start a store. And I just went on to a property application in my area, and for me to find the lowest cost store that I could rent in my city, it's going to cost me $24,000 per year. That is $2,000 per month just to run a store if I want to run a store. So you can see it's very cost effective to have your own online store because you don't have to pay rent or employees or upfront costs on product. So that's already an absolutely massive saving right there. Now, I will recommend a few extra things that you're going to probably need. Some of them you don't, but I do recommend them. First of all is the cost of a back-end email marketing. So you're going to want to set up some emails in the back end so you can keep reselling products and you can bring back lost customers. This is quite important. You can use free abandoned cart applications, or some apps run up to $50 a month, even $100 a month. But obviously you're not going to need to pay that when you start because your store is fresh. You might pay $5 a month. It really just depends on what program you use. But go and find an email program or application that you can set up on the back end to send out emails to recover the cart. The next cost, guys, is Oberlo. When you're starting, guys, you can use the free version, and that will let you do how many orders? 50 orders per month. But you will eventually probably get to the $79 a month one. But once again, you'll be making money at that point. So the cost isn't going to matter, okay? Because you're going to be making money. You are going to be making profit. So you start with the free plan, then they have the $30, then they have the $80 per month plan as well. So those are 2 other applications you're going to need, an email one and Oberlo. Sorry guys, my camera was full there, had to clean it out. Now after that, guys, you're going to probably need some general applications. You don't have to, but upsell apps, bundle apps, and just general applications that you probably will eventually start to use throughout your dropshipping journey. And they can run you free trials they have. They can be 7 days, 30 days, to around about $50 a month all up for all the apps that you probably need. I'm just going off what I have on my store. But then again, you don't want a lot of apps as well because it can slow down your store. So just use the ones that are most important to you. But this is what you're going to need, guys, for a basic store, okay? It's simple. For a basic starter store, the cost of Shopify, $29 per month. Nothing. It's nothing, guys. That's so cheap, considering people pay thousands of dollars in rent for buildings. The cost of a domain name, $14 per year. The cost of a logo, you can use free ones. Like I said, there's a link below to an article that I did, or spend around about $20 on a logo. You can use the Oberlo free plan to start with, and you can actually find a free trial to an abandoned email application, or you can pay a little bit of money as well for a good one. But that is literally all you need, guys, to start your own Shopify store. That's why this is such a great business model, because you don't need to rent out a building, you don't need to hire employees, you don't need to buy products up front. All you need to do is start your store. Most of your money, nearly all of your money, is going to be in the marketing. So let's talk about that now. Let's talk about the three traffic and marketing methods that I would recommend you use based on price. So this is what I would do, guys, if I was starting, and this is where most of your money's going to go. So section 3 is advertising methods. Advertising method number 1 is what I recommend if you have around about $200 to $400 to kind of like $500. These numbers aren't exact. You can go, round it up and stuff. Is use Instagram to build up some capital so you can move on to more advanced methods. What I mean, guys, is doing Instagram shoutouts. This is how nearly every single person I know that started Shopify started. They started with Instagram shoutouts. And this is actually a image here that we did on a test profile, and 500,000 views, and you can see the even the websites here. So we know this is working, okay? Instagram shoutouts work, and you can do it on a cheap budget. That's the best thing about Instagram shoutouts and Instagram influencers. But there's a few pros and cons, which I'm going to talk about as well. So the pros are you can build a custom audience, an asset that you can use later for Facebook advertising. So this is quite important. You can build a custom audience on people who engaged in a post and people who viewed your profile. Okay, that's quite important. You'll understand more about this later on. You don't need a lot of money to get started with this, guys. You can get high returns. You can build a solid brand on Instagram. So while you're doing this, you're actually getting followers as well, and you're building out an Instagram profile. So that's another asset. It's a perfect place to start for beginners. However, the cons, it's very limited on niches and products. So this particular product here did very, very well in the automotive niche, but it doesn't mean that all niches and all products are going to do well. It's actually very hard to find, specific niches and products that work. So you are very limited. It's hard to scale and is a little bit time consuming to try and scale on Instagram. And it's hard to get, you get inconsistent results sometimes. I spelled that wrong, but you get inconsistent results. So you might buy 2 shoutouts and not get any sales. Then you might buy 3 and get heaps of sales, or 1 and get heaps of sales. It's very inconsistent. So it's good for like trying to get a little bit of money in. And you need to find the right profiles. This can be a challenge in itself, finding profiles that are engaging and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of research involved, guys, but that's kind of the same with any traffic source you use. So my recommendation, the first step, if you have little money, not much at all, is to definitely start with Instagram influencers and shoutouts, okay? This is a great way to start, but there's a few pros and cons. So Instagram is a great way to start if you have slightly empty pockets, but you have a little bit of money to spare. Now, method number 2 is one of my favorites, guys, and this is becoming more and more popular. There's only a few of us actually doing this right now, and this is using Google Ads to target specific keywords of more buyer intent traffic. What does that mean? You go and put ads on Google, text link ads, and Google shopping ads as well. Now this is becoming increasingly popular again, and I recommend around about $500 to $1,000 is plenty to start getting into Google ads and start making some money, because everyone's kind of gone to Facebook and they're starting to come back to Google ads now. So it's a little bit cheap. It's a little bit cheaper right now on Google ads. And here's the pros and cons. So you can kind of understand why you should use Google ads and maybe why you shouldn't. So the first pro is you can also build custom audiences. So people that visit your page from Google ads, you can retarget back to them just like any other traffic method out there nowadays. These are buyer intent customers. What that means, guys, is these people are actually searching for something. So if someone searches, I don't know, best moon lamp or best moon lamp review, where to buy a moon lamp, and you're promoting moon lamps, then your product will come up to someone that's just searched it. Where on Facebook, you're putting your products in front of people that are not specifically searched for that particular keyword. So you get higher conversions, you get people that are actually more interested in buying instead of just browsing, and you tend to get money easier with Google Ads, okay? So higher conversions, and it's buyer intent traffic. You don't need to use videos, guys. It's one of the best things about Google Ads. You just use images and text ads. You don't need videos, okay? That's a really, really big plus about Google Ads. So if you're a beginner, you don't know how to make videos, I would recommend jumping into Google Ads to get your first set of traffic and try that way. You don't need amazing ad copy. Like, you don't need big ad copy to try and convince people into buying. Look, it's so simple. That's all you need right here. This is Google Shopping, an image and some text. This is Google text ads, display ads, search ads, I should say, and it's just some text, right? You don't need amazing copy. And generally on Google right now, generally cheaper advertising costs than Facebook for now. So it's actually quite cheap to advertise on Google at this point of time. Now the cons are limited on keyword search. So what I mean is, like, there's only a specific amount of people searching for these particular keywords every day. So it can be hard to scale, but that just depends on the product that you're trying to advertise and the niche that you're trying to advertise it in. It can be hard to scale because of that problem. Although you just need to put in a bit more work, find better keywords and stuff like that. But just remember, guys, it's more targeted traffic. So even though it can be harder to scale, you're actually making more money usually, making more money to make up for that. So you could scale on Facebook higher and higher, but doesn't mean you're going to be making as much money as your Google ad that's not scaled as much, if you know what I mean, okay? Now, Google ads do take a while to get used to. It is a lot of technical stuff you don't even really need to worry about. There's only a few things you need to worry about, but people get stuck and worry about the wrong things. But Google, the pros definitely outweigh the cons here. It's a great traffic source. I would recommend this as the mid-range of $500 to $1,000 if that's what you have, okay? I know this is scary, guys, $1,000, but think about this for a second. You don't have any risk. You don't have any employees you have to pay. Could you imagine if you went and started a store in the real world and you hired people and then you didn't sell any products? You would have to pay them. They could sue you for not supplying them work, right? There's a lot less risk in doing it this way. So Google is a great place to put your products in front of people who are specifically searching to buy or searching for things, because you can search, they might be searching for specific keywords like buy a moon lamp. You know they're going to be buying from something when they click it, right? Method number 3, guys, is the Facebook. Ultimately, this is where you want to end up if you don't start here in the first place. Facebook is really the cream of the crop when it comes to ads. But you need a bit of money, guys. You're going to be looking at $1,000 or more to start with Facebook ads, because you need to do more testing. It's a little bit harder to get the hang of it. There's a little bit more competition on here, but you will be looking at $1,000 plus with Facebook ads. So let's look at kind of like the pros and cons of this as well. There's not much to this video, guys, so we're not going to drag it on if we don't have to. But as once again, you can build huge custom audiences with Facebook. You can generally build out massive audiences of people that have viewed video, engaged in a post, people that have viewed your page, all that sort of stuff, right? You can build out huge assets on Facebook that you can use later for retargeting. There's tons more advertising options and strategies. With Google, you're pretty limited. You've only got Google Shopping and Google text ads and Google display ads. But Facebook, guys, you've got all of these ad options here: conversions, traffic, engagement, lead generation, store visits. Whatever you want to do, you can test which ones are going to work the best for you. But you have more options and stuff like that. And Facebook is also way better at like optimizing for conversions and stuff than Google ads. That's what I've found. You can scale faster and more efficiently with Facebook ads. Facebook ads become more stable and consistent over time. What that means is when you first start Facebook, guys, and this is why a lot of people actually quit and they shouldn't, your first kind of 1 or 2 weeks, maybe even a month, is going to be really unstable and stuff like that, because Facebook hasn't got any data. There's a pixel, and the pixel needs to accumulate data so it can understand your business more and find you the right customers. So it can take a while to start getting all this data and optimizing your ads, but once you do, you can scale so quickly, it's insane. But 99% of people don't get to that point because they give up. Right? Because, hey, the Shopify trial ended. I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to spend any money. It's ridiculous, guys. You need to actually spend some money and you've got an opportunity right here that a lot of people don't have, and a lot of people just throw it away. Okay, so Facebook ads, become more stable and consistent over time. It's better for long-term growth. It's way better for long-term growth because once you optimize, you can just scale it to the moon. you have more control over what you actually can do. So there's a lot more control of Facebook ads. You can let Facebook's algorithm do the work for you. That comes back to optimization. Once Facebook starts to optimize, guys, it's going to be cheaper for you, and you just let Facebook's algorithm do the work. You say, hey, Facebook, I want to buy people that I want to optimize for purchases. It's going to go and optimize for purchases once they have the data collected and they can start to optimize your ads. So essentially, you have to spend a little bit of money to spend less money in the long run on optimization, but make more money, if that makes sense. Okay, so basically your ads are going to get cheaper and cheaper, hopefully over time once it starts to optimize. Now the cons of Facebook, guys, it takes a while to optimize and start getting results. It can be hard to master. It's a very complicated platform, but there's lots of videos online on how to do that. It will require more testing and split testing to get results, and it can become time consuming at times. Now I forgot to add something as well. You're usually going to have to use video on Facebook, so this can be a major con for people because they don't know how to use video. They don't know how to make video and stuff like that. But on Facebook, you are probably going to have to use video, okay? So no matter what you do, Facebook is going to be the platform that you start on or eventually end up on. You will be doing Facebook ads at some point in your journey, and you will probably end up there, and that will be your main traffic source eventually. Now back to the videos, guys. That brings in one more extra cost that you might not be prepared to pay for, so I am going to mention that. On Facebook, you are going to eventually need to make some sort of video, especially in 2019, because that's what's converting. You can make them yourself, but you're probably going to suck, just like I suck at making videos. Or you're not going to have the product in your hands, so you can't make a video. So you can actually find websites. This is called ecomvids.com. They will actually create videos for you, but this becomes just a little bit of an extra cost. So they can do a basic video for $595, or a viral video for $795, or a professional ad for $2,500, or you can get like some $3,500 package. This does become a little bit more of an expense later, but you don't actually need to do this when starting. By the time you get to the point where you're like, hey, I want to spend money on a video, you should know what product is going to be working for you. It should have already made you some money, so you should be able to afford to have this extra expense in your dropshipping business. All right, guys, so that's it for this video, guys. Nice and easy. 3 methods you can use. Just remember, guys, dropshipping is an amazing business model, but you do need to spend some money. That is the truth with nearly every single method online today and business in general. You don't start a plumbing business without a van or tools, which are going to cost you thousands when you start. And most people get bank loans for that. With this, you don't need to get loans. You probably already have some money laying around, or you can go and get credit cards with a little bit of money on it, and you can easily start paying that back once you start making money. All right, guys. Now, I actually just forgot. I am going to leave a video below. I have a full tutorial on how to actually do Google Ads and make over $200 per day doing that. You can click the link below. And also, there's some other links in there for you guys. Remember to subscribe, tap that notification bell, drop a like on this video, comment below how much money you have to spend online right now, and I'll help you out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Check out the playlist on the screen and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.